The whole performance just got even more intense. I mean, the choreography, the song, everything. And then we see this giant... Hey everyone, welcome to another Kingdom video. Today we are talking about episode 8. And in this episode, they finished up the first round of the No Limits challenge. And we saw the performances of the vocal group. And then we started the second part of the No Limits challenge with iKON and Stray Kids. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Just a quick reminder, if you guys haven't seen any of my previous Kingdom videos, I will be linking the playlist on the description box below so you guys could catch up and watch my recap videos. Also, for the record, I am a fan of all these groups. I believe they each have their own unique charms and I love seeing that on the show. Also, last thing, throughout this video, I will be asking you guys some questions so you guys could feel free to leave your answers on the comments below. So yeah, let's get this video started. So episode 8 started with IT'S ONE team, their vocal unit. So IT'S ONE vocal team consists of Insung, Jaeyoon from SF9, Jun and Jinhwan from iKON, and Sangyeon and Yoo from the Boyz. So in this episode, we saw how when they met each other for the first time as a group, they were all so shy. And it's like, I feel like they need to do one of those games to like introduce yourselves to each other. It was so interesting to watch because we're so used to seeing them with their own individual groups, but then when they're placed in a different group with different members, it's just different. However, do not let their shyness or awkwardness get in the way of their talent. When these guys sing, that is where they shine. I mean, they may be shy, but their vocals are incredible. And I love seeing how they were harmonizing and working together behind the scenes. And seriously, you have some of the best vocalists, you put them together, and it's just amazing. So the song that they chose to perform is Taeyeon's Spark. That's one of my favorite songs. I love that song. And seeing their performance was a treat. So a strength that I think this group definitely had is the fact that there was 6 members. You could really add up to the harmonies and just the vocals. And that's what they did. My favorite part of their performance was when they were all standing in a circle and they were singing, and it was so good. I love Jun and Yoo's harmonies when they sang together. It was so amazing. Powerhouse vocals. And Sangyeon and his high notes was spectacular as well. And I'm so proud of Insung. He tried his best to hit that note. I mean, even though he did kind of mess up, but he still kept through it. And we saw in the behind the scenes, he is able to hit those notes. If you guys have heard any of SF9 songs, you know how incredible this guy is as a singer. When you have a lot of pressure on you and just a lot of stress, it does sometimes affect your performance. And one thing that I noticed in this episode, at least from a viewer's point of view, I didn't see much of, is the other members from the IT'S ONE team and even SF9 kind of comforting Insung. I didn't really see that. And I think after his performance, the other guys were like, okay, yeah, good job. And then they all went their own separate ways. And I feel like Insung was kind of, I think he felt alone. I mean, we do know that the other members like Jinhwan, they did feel bad for Insung. But again, I didn't see anyone really kind of telling him it's okay. I didn't really see anyone consoling him, or maybe the members did help him out after the performance. Maybe we just didn't get to see it on the show. It was probably edited out. I have no idea. And Insung did say that he felt bad towards SF9, the Boyz, and iKON. I think he felt that he let them down. But again, I think he did such a great job. I think he is still a very strong vocalist. I really hope that this performance doesn't get in the way of his confidence in terms of performing and stuff. I hope that he could continue moving forward with just as much confidence as he had before and even more. And I just continue wishing him and SF9 all the best. So the next team is MAYFLY, and they decided to perform IU's Love Poem. That is one of my favorite songs. And in this team, we have Eunkwon, we have Sungmin, and we have Jungho. Throughout Kingdom, they have definitely shown their powerhouse vocals. Specifically, Eunkwon and Jungho, we have heard them hit high notes that it's just, I don't even know how they're able to do it, but they do it. And in the behind the scenes, we did see Jungho say he wants to show that he likes ballads and emotional songs. So I guess he wanted to show a different side of him, which I like that in Kingdom we are able to see that, especially in these unit performances. I mean, we saw it with the rap team. They wanted to show something that they normally aren't able to show when they're with their groups. And I think that's kind of what Jungho wanted. He wanted to show this side of him. And another thing, Sungmin commented that he loves band music. And I immediately thought of Day6 because we all know he is a huge fan of Day6 and I love that. And another fun moment that happened is when Sungmin said that his first pick for the song to perform is IU's Love Poem. And then Eunkwon, he agreed that was his first pick. And then Jungho just like kind of joined in and he was like, yeah, that's my first pick too. That was just so funny. And you could already tell that this group, all those three guys, they just have a good synergy. And I also like that we see how Eunkwon, he is such a great leader and such a natural teacher. He genuinely wants to help these guys. He wants to build them and make them the best that they can be in their performances and stuff. And you could tell that there's no selfish intent behind what he does. He genuinely cares for everyone. And again, just like Minhyuk when he was with his unit and Pinil, you see how easygoing these guys are. And honestly, I wish I could be friends with BTOB. I think they're the type of group that you just want to have in your life. And seeing their interactions with all the groups, with all the different members, it's just so nice to watch. They always put everyone at ease. They put others first before them. And I think that is so sweet. And again, I would love to be friends with BTOB, just the whole group. I love them. All right, so during their rehearsals, we saw how Sungmin was kind of nervous, but I love how Changbin and Han, they went to give some encouragement to Sungmin. They could tell that he was kind of nervous, and I love that teamwork. All right, so if I were to describe MAYFLY's vocal unit performance in one word, it would be magical. Absolutely magical. Oh my goodness. Their performance is simple. They're all three standing, and that's it. And they're just singing. There's no choreography, there's no effects, there's no crazy camera movements, lighting. There's nothing crazy going on. It is just them singing. And their performance was so beautiful and emotional. I'm sure there's countless of people that watched their performance and cried because it just felt so pure and so wholesome. I use song Love Poem. It's very healing, and I love how Sungmin, Jungho, and Eunkwon, they were able to portray and really share that same vibe. I mean, it was just so wonderful to watch. It's kind of like therapeutic. It puts you at ease, and it just feels like a hug when you hear them sing. And it was so magical. And one of my favorite moments of their performance is when Sungmin and Jungho, they're singing and Eunkwon is in the middle and he's just there to support them. Once again, he puts others first. And I think that was so sweet. And then obviously when Eunkwon comes in and he sings and then he harmonizes with the other guys, it is seriously so heavenly. So after their performance, Eunkwon said, "We went on stage with the thought, let them hear our hearts. Perhaps that's the reason. I felt that we truly loved music and we were enjoying, the music." I think that's how our performance was. And I 100% agree. It was just all about the song, their vocals, and just portraying that emotion and the message in the lyrics. And I think they did a wonderful job. All right, so question number 1. If you could pick any female vocalist to perform with any of these groups, which female vocalist would it be and with which group? So for instance, I would have totally loved to see IU perform with MAYFLY's team. I think her voice with theirs would have been amazing. Same for Taeyeon and IT'S ONE's team as well. So let me know on the comments below. Now on to part 2 of the No Limit Challenge. So the first group up is iKON. The group chose the song Pretty Savage from BLACKPINK, but they decided to make it their own, so they changed it up and they called it Classy Savage, and they said that they would change it to have more of iKON's style. So Bobby said that we prepared something only YG could do. So if Bobby says that, this performance is probably going to be show-stopping. So right before they went to perform, I love how SF9 and the Boyz, they were cheering for them. I think that was so sweet. All right, so iKON performing Pretty Savage, Classy Savage. I like how it starts with them in what looks like a room setting and they're watching TV and you see a montage of YG artists. You see Big Bang, which that made me super happy. Winner, again, extremely excited. BLACKPINK, and then iKON. And I loved that little video montage. And then when the room turned red and then the walls kind of opened up and then the members left the room and then they entered this jungle. Okay, first of all, their set was amazing. I don't know who came up with the design idea. Great job. And then when the song started, I love how cute Changmin from the Boyz, he said BLACKPINK in your area. You could tell there's a lot of BLACKPINK fans. So iKON definitely changed up the song and they really made it their own, even in the lyrics. The whole entire performance was so solid. And then the members kind of just leave. And then the dancers, they all raise their hand and they face one direction. And then the camera just goes through the set and then enters this new set where it's all gold. And surely enough, sitting on a throne is none other than Lisa. That is how you make an entrance, ladies and gentlemen. That entrance was so epic. It's legendary. Okay, her entire performance was legendary because then Lisa started and then she did her whole verse. She owned it. I mean, there's no denying Lisa has one of the best stage presence in all of the music industry. And the fact how she is able to just own every single second of it as if it's her own show, she did amazing. So then the members are back and then they continue performing. So another one of my favorite moments of their performance is when Bobby and Donghyuk, they sing If You're Mad, Stay Mad, but this is the second time that they sing it. And I love how Donghyuk, he does the little movement that's on Bobby's You Mad solo performance. I love that. And I also love how Bobby and Donghyuk, they have a good chemistry on stage. They're so free-spirited when they perform and they're just having fun. And I loved the verses that they had together. And of course, it's not a YG performance until everyone is on stage and they're just dancing and it's like a party, especially for the last chorus. And I also like how the performance just ended. I think it was definitely a unique concept. It was really fun to watch. And I like that in the end of their performance, Lisa and the guys, they met up and they were congratulating each other. We love to see YG family interactions, and I would like to see more YG family interactions between all the groups in the company. All right, question number 2. Which female dancer would you have liked to see perform with which group? So for instance, we saw Lisa perform with iKON, even though they didn't technically perform together because their verses were kind of different. She was in one set, iKON was in another set. But if you could pick any female dancer to perform or to do a collab stage with any of the other groups, which female dancer would it be and with which group? Let me know in the comments below. Next up is Stray Kids, and they decided to go with a BLACKPINK song. Their famous song, DDU-DU-DU. And the fact that you have two groups covering BLACKPINK songs, it just proves BLACKPINK, they're legends. But anyway, Stray Kids decided to do something slightly different. Instead of just covering BLACKPINK, they decided to mix it with their song God's Menu. I love seeing Bangchan work and arrange on the song. I love seeing anything behind the scenes of groups just working on their music or choreography, and we definitely saw that with Stray Kids. And I love seeing Changbin and Han, and of course Bangchan, just recording the song and making it their own. And I also love seeing the members work on the choreography, adding different ideas, and it was just very collaborative. And honestly, I don't know how Sriracha, how Bangchan, Changbin, and Han, I don't know how they are so creative when it comes to music. If you hear any of Stray Kids songs that they produced and stuff, these guys have such great minds when it comes to music and just creating or even mixing and stuff. It's amazing. And I like that they repeatedly said that they just want to have fun in this performance. And I think that is very important, especially in a competition show. Okay, so for Stray Kids performance, I have no idea how they do it. It starts with Felix and they have a Deadpool concept. And throughout their performance, we do see comic book images and things like that. But I think how it started with Felix was so awesome. And at first I didn't notice it, but there was a rice cooker behind them, like a giant rice cooker. Lino in the center, he owns it. He's another guy that has amazing stage presence. He went so hard in the choreography. And it looks like they're in a subway. If you guys have seen the performance, you know what I'm talking about. I loved that. That was one of my favorite moments. I think the mashup of God's Menu and DDU-DU-DU was perfect. It was absolutely spectacular. And I like the part when everyone has their guns pointed at Lino and Lino's in the center. I love how their performance could be serious, but also funny. And again, you could tell they were having fun on stage. And I like how the song develops and then they add a lot of rock elements to it. Again, it gives Stray Kids their own twist on the song. And then in the middle of the performance, when it stops and then Bangchan, he has like a dialogue. Again, it's like Deadpool. It was really cool. And then from that point on, the whole performance just got even more intense. I mean, the choreography, the song, everything. And then we see this giant tank. And then one of my favorite moments, obviously, when Felix shows his abs and then everyone's freaking out. And then we have Woo Young saying, "My son." And then Peniel said, "Why didn't they do that for MAYFLY?" And then Minhyuk said it's because they were saving it. It was just so funny. The reactions of all the other groups when Felix did that was priceless. Okay, so then in the performance, we see Bangchan is on top of the tank, and then when he says Stray Kids everywhere all around the world, I'm sure everyone that watched their performance, they were chanting Stray Kids everywhere all around the world. And it kind of reminded me of their concert, because I did see them live in concert when they went on tour. It was amazing, and that is something that when you say it out loud, especially with a lot of people, you really feel it. And I love how Bangchan was chanting it, and it was just, Oh man, it just makes me miss live concerts so much. Even if you're not a stay, I'm pretty sure everyone was chanting that. All right, so question number 3. Which female rapper would you like to see perform with which group? I think Soyeon from G-Idol would be great with probably Stray Kids. I think that would be a really cool collaboration. I don't know, that's just my thoughts on it. So you guys could let me know your answers on the comments below. So overall, it's really hard to compare one performance to the other because they were each different. How IT'S ONE performed Taeyeon's Spark, it was a very intense performance, but then you also have MAYFLY performing IU's Love Poem, which is a softer song, a more healing song. And then even in the following performances from iKON and Stray Kids, even though they did a cover of BLACKPINK, both performances were so different and they each had their own charms. They were different and they were still very good. And every single week, I love seeing all these performances. And trust me, voting is very difficult when you're a fan of all these groups. But once again, I encourage you guys to vote and stream for your favorite groups. But overall, this was a wonderful episode. I am so excited for next week's performances. And yeah. All right, so that basically wraps up my video for Kingdom episode 8. If you guys are new to my channel, hello and welcome. You guys can feel free to subscribe. I post reaction videos on a weekly basis, and I also have a blog where I talk more about comebacks, album reviews, and song reviews. I will be linking my lovely blog on the description box below so you guys could check it out. So thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you guys next time.